Yo, what up, what's poppin'? It's me, Josh Otusanya, here again. In this video, we're gonna talk about what determines success. Now, success is relative. You know, you might be trying to be a movie star, or you maybe you're just trying to perform better at work. This is just success in general, and you could take this information and apply it to your life wherever you're at in life. But a few of these points are from a book I read by Napoleon Hill called The Magic Ladder to Success. I have mentioned this in previous videos. If you haven't read it, I definitely recommend you read it and take notes because it's gonna give you a lot of good insights as to how to be successful. He studied successful people through the years and just spent like 25, 30 plus years of his life just studying their lives and found key similarities that they all had. And he's like, yo, if you just take these similarities and apply it to your life, you should get similar results. But the first point that helps determine success is having a pleasing personality. Pleasing personality, it is huge. It can make a big difference. Because look, you could be dripping in talent, you know, you could have all the talent in the world. You could have all the connections in the world, but a bad personality could spoil everything. If you don't have a personality that makes people want to help you out, you're screwed. Now, it doesn't mean that you won't be successful, but it might make your journey a little longer than it needs to be. So when trying to put this into practice, really quickly, try to keep a few things in mind. Avoid useless arguments. Be a friend of humanity. Aim to make people around you feel good. And be genuine in everything you do. Try to be genuine. So if you give a compliment, make sure it's genuine. When you help someone out, make sure it's genuine. Don't look like you're just trying to do it to get something from somebody. A celebrity who I think embodies this super well is Chance the Rapper, and I actually made a video on how to be likable like Chance the Rapper. I'll put a link to it in the description box and the very end of this video. Next point from Napoleon Hill on what determines success is being willing to do more than paid for. That means you gotta be okay with putting in so much work, a lot of work, and not getting any recognition for it for a little bit. It's like in general, people tend to shy away from doing more work than required. We want recognition for everything. But keep in mind, your mind, your personality, your body, it grows the more work you do, whether you get recognized for it or not. And the more work you do, if you just keep laying a brick at a time every single day, eventually a light's gonna get shown on you. You will get recognized. Because doing more work than required is super rare. Like I said, everyone wants recognition, so nobody wants to do so much work behind the scenes and get no shine, no credit for it. Celebrity who I think embodies this really well is Chris Redd on SNL. He's a comedian that started in Chicago, and actually as he was leaving Chicago, I started comedy in Chicago. But he is an embodiment of this because when he was coming up in Chicago, he did so much work, an ungodly amount of work, and he started rising pretty quickly as a result of that. And one of my other friends who does comedy in Chicago, he had actually reached out to him for some advice one time as he was still kind of rising in Chicago before the SNL stuff, before all the amazing Comedy Central things that started happening. Just hit him up for advice, and he sent him this long thing of advice that listed out all of the insane amounts of things he was doing in the city, which if you read it, it's like, oh my goodness. He's producing this many shows, he's performing this many times a week, he's writing this many sketches, he's taking this many classes at the same time. It's so much. But I have it here, it's a little excerpt, and I'm gonna read it real quick. So my friend asked him for advice, how to be successful, that sort of thing, and he said, bro, I'll tell you this, outwork everyone and everybody. You have to literally never hang out and just write, constantly perfect your craft. It wasn't until I was doing a ton of stuff outside of the theaters and people were talking that I was shown any love. He did a lot of work for a while until people finally started taking notice. And when they did start taking notice, it blew up like a wildfire. Last point that I'm gonna make here, have a clear and definite aim. Because without a clear and definite aim, all the work and efforts you're doing is useless. Like if you're just working really hard, but you have no idea what you're just running around like a chicken with his head cut off, you're not getting anywhere, you're just running in circles. You need to be painfully clear about what you want in life. Literally sit down and write out the exact goals you want to have in your life. What are your goals? Why do you want it? How will you achieve it? Like for me personally, I have a personal plan that I've written on my Google Drive. I wrote out all my goals and I broke everything out and I broke out how I want to achieve it. And producing more content like on YouTube is one of the ways that I want to achieve my goals in life. And because I broke all these things out, I started to achieve more things that I wanted to achieve while I've been here in New York in such a short amount of time. For example, one of my goals was to get in at one of the comedy clubs here in New York. Started running a show there, pulled in some homies to help run the show with me. We started running the show was crushing. Through that, we started getting more club spots within the club. And then most recently, got to open up for Bill Burr. You know what I mean? So it's like little things like that where you say, okay, this is the overarching goal I want to achieve. This is how I'm gonna achieve it, and you just keep breaking it down from there. Even break it up into daily or weekly goals if you have to. In the comment section down below, let me know, what are you doing right now to be successful? For more videos, click over here. Thank you so much for watching. Love you. Peace.
Is it just me, or are they horrible at their jobs? Because you eat something bad, your body's like, yo, you just ate shellfish, but don't worry, I'm gonna protect you from dying. You're like, great, how? By dying.